If you're over 60 and you use a microwave every day, there are certain foods you need to be extremely careful with because some of them, when reheated the wrong way, can create compounds that may harm your body over time. 3 of the foods I'm about to show you are probably in your kitchen right now, and after 60, they could quietly affect your brain, your digestion, and even your long-term health without obvious warning signs. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness, because what seems convenient today could slowly become a problem tomorrow if you don't know what to avoid. I'm a doctor, and over the years I've worked with many older patients who followed simple daily routines like reheating leftovers without realizing how small habits can have bigger consequences as the body ages. Not because microwaves are bad, but because the way certain foods react to heat changes after repeated exposure. Your metabolism slows, your detox systems work differently, and your sensitivity to chemical changes increases. That's why today I'm going to walk you through 7 foods I would never microwave after 60. And what you should do instead to stay safe. Let's start with one of the most common and most misunderstood. The next one is even more dangerous. Number 1, rice, especially leftovers. Rice is one of the most widely consumed foods in the world. It's easy to cook, easy to store, and very convenient to reheat. Many seniors prepare rice in batches and microwave it the next day, without a second thought. But this is where most people make a mistake. Cooked rice, when left at room temperature, can develop bacteria called Bacillus cereus. These bacteria can produce toxins that survive even after reheating in the microwave. That means when you microwave rice that wasn't stored properly, you're not just reheating food, you could be exposing yourself to harmful toxins. I once had a patient in his late 60s who frequently experienced mild stomach discomfort and occasional nausea. He couldn't figure out the cause. After reviewing his diet, we discovered he often reheated rice that had been sitting out for hours. Once he changed this habit, his symptoms improved significantly. Studies have shown that improper storage of rice is a leading cause of food-related illness, especially in older adults whose digestive systems are more sensitive, and after 60, even mild food poisoning can have more serious effects. What should you do instead? Always store rice in the refrigerator within 1 hour of cooking. When reheating, make sure it's steaming hot all the way through and avoid reheating it more than once, and the next one might surprise you. Number 2, processed meats like sausages and deli meat. Processed meats are quick, convenient, and commonly used for breakfast or snacks. Many seniors microwave sausages or deli slices for a quick meal. It seems harmless, but this is where things become more concerning. When processed meats are heated at high temperatures, especially in a microwave, they can form compounds known as oxidation products and advanced glycation end products. These substances have been linked to inflammation in the body, and inflammation plays a major role in brain aging and cognitive decline. This is where most people make another mistake. They assume that if a food is already cooked, reheating it can't change much. But the truth is, the heating process, especially uneven microwave heating, can alter the chemical structure of processed meats in ways that increase health risks. I had a patient who relied heavily on microwaved sausages for breakfast. Over time, he experienced increased fatigue and inflammation-related symptoms. While diet wasn't the only factor, reducing processed meats made a noticeable difference. Research suggests that high consumption of processed meats is associated with increased risk of chronic diseases, especially in older adults, and repeated microwave heating may amplify those effects. What should you do instead? Limit processed meats as much as possible. If you do eat them, heat them gently using a stovetop instead of a microwave, and balance your diet with fresh whole foods. Because the next one is something almost everyone uses daily. And it's often overlooked. Number 3, cooking oils, especially reheating them. Many people microwave food that already contains oils, leftover vegetables, fried foods, or sauces. But when oils are reheated, especially multiple times, they can break down and form harmful compounds known as free radicals. And the next one is even more dangerous. Free radicals can damage cells in your body, including brain cells. Over time, this contributes to oxidative stress, a key factor in aging and cognitive decline. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at neutralizing these compounds, which increases the risk. I once worked with a patient who frequently reheated fried foods in the microwave. He didn't realize that each reheating cycle was degrading the oil further. Once he switched to fresh cooking methods, his overall health markers improved. This is where most people don't realize the risk. It's not just about what you eat, it's about how often it's reheated and how it's prepared. What should you do instead? Avoid reheating oily foods in the microwave. If possible, consume freshly prepared meals or reheat using gentle heat methods like stovetop warming, because what we're about to discuss next is where things become even more concerning. Now let's continue because the next few foods are even more commonly used, and the way they react in the microwave can be far more harmful than most people realize, especially after 60, when your body becomes more sensitive to chemical changes. Even small daily habits can slowly add up over time, and the next one is even more dangerous. Number 4, eggs, especially reheated in the microwave. Eggs are considered one of the healthiest and most complete foods. Many seniors boil or cook eggs in advance and simply reheat them in the microwave the next day. It feels like a safe and convenient option, but this is where most people make a mistake. When eggs are reheated in the microwave, especially at high temperatures, the proteins inside them can break down unevenly and produce compounds that are harder to digest. In some cases, reheated eggs can also release sulfur compounds that may irritate the digestive system. And the next one is even more dangerous. Microwaving whole eggs or even poorly cut boiled eggs can create pressure inside, sometimes causing them to explode when pierced or bitten. This may sound rare, but it happens more often than people think, and it can lead to burns or injuries. I once saw a case where a senior reheated a boiled egg in the microwave and experienced a minor burn when it burst after being cut. It wasn't severe, but it highlights how unpredictable microwave heating can be with certain foods. Studies suggest that uneven heating is one of the biggest issues with microwaves. Some parts of the food become extremely hot while others remain cooler. This inconsistency not only affects safety but also digestion. What should you do instead? Eat eggs fresh whenever possible. If you must reheat them, do it gently on the stovetop and avoid microwaving whole eggs. This is where most people think they're safe, but the next one proves otherwise. Number 5, leafy greens like spinach and kale. Leafy greens are widely recommended for seniors because they are rich in nutrients, vitamins, and antioxidants. Many people cook spinach or other greens and then reheat them later in the microwave. It seems healthy, but there's a hidden risk here. Leafy greens contain natural nitrates. When these greens are reheated, especially multiple times, those nitrates can convert into compounds that may not be beneficial for the body in high amounts. This process becomes more concerning when combined with improper storage or repeated heating, and the next one is even more dangerous. After 60, your body's ability to handle these chemical changes may decrease. While occasional reheating is unlikely to cause immediate harm, repeated exposure over time may contribute to internal stress and inflammation. I remember a patient who followed a very healthy diet, including reheated spinach meals daily. She experienced digestive discomfort and fatigue. Once she started consuming freshly prepared greens instead, her symptoms improved. Research shows that while vegetables are essential, the way they are stored and reheated can influence their nutritional value and chemical composition. What should you do instead? Try to consume leafy greens fresh or freshly cooked. If reheating is necessary, use gentle heat and avoid reheating them multiple times, because the next one is something almost everyone uses and it may be more risky than you think. Number 6, chicken improperly reheated. Chicken is a staple protein in many households. It's often cooked in bulk and reheated later for convenience, but reheating chicken in the microwave can be problematic if not done correctly. This is where most people make another mistake. Microwaves heat unevenly, which means parts of the chicken may not reach a temperature high enough to kill bacteria. This creates a risk of foodborne illness, especially if the chicken was not stored properly, and the next one is even more dangerous. Protein structures in chicken can also change when reheated multiple times, making it harder to digest. For seniors, this can lead to discomfort, bloating, or reduced nutrient absorption. I once treated a patient who experienced recurring stomach issues. After reviewing his eating habits, we found that he frequently reheated chicken multiple times throughout the week. Once he changed this habit, his symptoms reduced significantly. According to food safety studies, improperly reheated poultry is one of the common sources of digestive issues, especially in older adults. What should you do instead? Always store chicken properly, reheat it thoroughly until it's steaming hot, and avoid reheating it more than once. When possible, use stovetop heating for more even temperature distribution, because what we're about to discuss next is where everything comes together and where most people unknowingly put themselves at risk. Now that you've seen these foods, the most important thing to understand is this: microwaves themselves are not the enemy. The real issue is how certain foods react when reheated, especially multiple times, and how those changes affect your body after 60. Because as your body ages, your digestion slows down, your tolerance to toxins decreases, and your ability to recover from small stressors becomes weaker. That's why what seemed harmless for years can suddenly start creating problems without obvious warning signs. This is where most people make a mistake. They focus only on convenience, reheat, eat, and move on. But over time, these small habits, improper storage, repeated reheating, uneven heating, can create a pattern that slowly impacts your health, not overnight, not dramatically, but quietly. And that's what makes it dangerous. And the next step is even more important. Let's turn everything you've learned into a simple action plan you can follow starting today. First, always focus on proper food storage. Any cooked food, especially rice, chicken, or vegetables, should be placed in the refrigerator within 1 to 2 hours. Leaving food at room temperature allows bacteria to grow. Reheating it later won't always remove the toxins they produce. This is one of the most common mistakes seniors make without realizing it. Second, avoid reheating food multiple times. Every time food is reheated, its structure changes, nutrients can degrade, oils can break down, and harmful compounds can increase. Try to reheat only the portion you plan to eat and avoid putting leftovers back into the fridge for another round. This is where most people don't realize the risk. Third, make sure food is heated evenly and thoroughly. Microwaves heat from the inside out in an uneven pattern, which means some parts of your food may be very hot while others remain cool. This is especially risky with proteins like chicken. Stir food when possible, use microwave-safe covers, and allow time for heat to distribute evenly, and the next one is even more powerful. Fourth, choose fresh over convenient whenever possible. Freshly prepared meals not only taste better, but they also reduce the risk of chemical changes that happen during storage and reheating. Even small adjustments like cooking smaller portions or eating leftovers sooner can make a big difference. Fifth, limit processed and high-fat foods when reheating. These are the foods most likely to form harmful compounds when exposed to repeated heat. Focus on whole foods, simple ingredients, and balanced meals. And here's something many people overlook. Sixth, listen to your body. If you frequently experience bloating, discomfort, fatigue, or digestive issues after meals, don't ignore it. Your body is sending signals. Small symptoms are often the first warning signs that something in your routine needs to change. Now, before we finish, there's one very important note. Do not panic or completely avoid using your microwave. When used correctly, it is a safe and convenient tool. This video is not about fear, it's about awareness and smarter habits. And if you have any health conditions or dietary concerns, always consult your doctor before making major changes. Because at the end of the day, your goal is not just to avoid problems, it's to protect your long-term health, your energy, and your independence. Now I want to hear from you. Comment below, which of these foods do you usually reheat in the microwave? And did anything in this video surprise you? Your experience could help someone else make a better decision. And if you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe, because we share simple, practical health advice designed specifically for seniors so you can stay informed, stay safe, and stay in control of your health. And the next video is something you absolutely don't want to miss. We're going to reveal 7 everyday habits that are silently damaging your memory after 60 and how to fix them before it's too late. Because sometimes it's not the big things that harm us. It's the small daily habits we never question.